Hello, Matthew Sweigart here. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Today's topic is the drama triangle. And interestingly enough, why I want to talk about this today is I think it's a concept that most people don't really get. And they live in a kind of an automatic pilot where they're rolling out drama triangle dynamics uh, in their daily life everywhere they turn instead of being able to jump out of the drama triangle and to be in a presence of growth and enjoyment and development and connection. Um, we fall into these dramatic roles. Okay, we play these roles. Okay, we're either the victim, the perpetrator, or the savior. Those are the three roles in the drama triangle. And unfortunately, for many of us, these are the only roles we were taught existed. In our childhood, we were the victims and the parents were the perpetrators. And then you hope that the teacher was the savior, but sometimes the teacher was the perpetrator. And sometimes you got to be the perpetrator because you got to play the perpetration role and challenge the teacher or the parents, and be mean and nasty and all those things. Um, and so perpetration needs a victim. Saviors need victims. So, and this is replete in the cultural teachings that we're always seeking a savior. Oh, because I'm a victim, right? Why would I need a savior if I'm already saved? Why would I need a savior if I'm not a victim, right? But if you are a victim, you're probably looking for a savior and you're pointing your finger at the perpetrator, the challenge. The perpetrator is the person who persecuted you. And there are real persecutions in the world. I'm not taking anything away from the truth that the drama triangle dynamics do exist in human nature and in nature. Yet the truth is that when you come into consciousness about this, you may be able to arrive at a different level of understanding of how to work with these dynamics. So victims often it's a in a family system, it's like whoever speaks the loudest, they're fighting for the victim position because the victim gets taken care of. Sometimes the victim is victimized by the perpetrator, but you need to be a victim in order to get saved. So you want to create victimhood so that the savior comes in and saves you, right? Deus ex machina, the old Greek drama tragedy, right? Right in the middle of the tragedy, the God comes in over the wall of the theater and solves everything. Yeah, that's all we need is a savior to come in and solve everything for us because the knot has been tied too tightly and we can't untie the knot. It's the Gordian knot. So what do you do? What do you do? Well, first you can start to recognize that you're a victim or you're playing the victim. Or maybe you're the persecutor and maybe you're the person who did the persecution. Or maybe you're trying to be the savior. Yeah, everybody wants to be the savior too. Yeah, I could save you. And then you don't accept me being your savior, and so you're the problem, and I'm the victim because you didn't accept that could save you. Frustrating. And it goes round and round and round. That's why it's a triangle. And that's why these three roles kind of interchange one another and balance one another. And you get this high drama all the time. And you need that in drama. You need a villain and a good guy. You need a bad guy and a good guy, right? Darth Vader, come to the dark side, Luke. And it's all this land of duality stuff that's going on in the dark and the light and this the battle for good and evil and all those things that all get replete and wrapped up in this idea of drama triangle. That if you could just have a savior, oh, wouldn't that save everyone, right? But the savior needs a victim. So it's perpetuating more victimhood, more drama. And the victim needs a perpetrator. There's got to be a perpetrator. Got to be somebody who's a perp. We're gonna go get the perps. Yeah, because we're the SUV. Wait, no, SVU, Special Victims Unit. Yeah, yeah. It's tricky stuff, right? So I highly recommend the book by David Emerald, The Power of Ted, which he calls the empowerment dynamic, which I like. I like what he's done there. It's a quick little read. It will expose to you various facets of these three roles that we get to play: victim, perpetrator, or savior, and start to shift the conversation. So instead of being a victim, you're an actor. You have an active role. You're an intelligent, wise, capable, connected human being who's able to take charge and do things and take responsibility, be accountable. Not easy, but necessary. Maybe necessary. Interesting how that word came out. I don't script these things, by the way. So, accountable, not guilty. Maybe you're guilty, but you're accountable. It's like, I'm going to take responsibility for that choice. I'm going to take responsibility for that action. I am the actor here. I'm reminded of those spiritual phrases that drive you crazy. Nothing happens to you, it only happens for you. And another teacher said, it doesn't happen for you, it happens through you. Things move through you. You're an actor, okay? And the perpetrator, they're not there really to persecute you, they're there to challenge you. You are facing a challenge, and sometimes that challenge is in your face, and it's huge and it's big, and sometimes you got to get angry with it in order to respond to it appropriately. And sometimes you need to dance with it and arrive at it, to hold it, contain it, and insist that you won't allow yourself to be hurt. You won't allow another person to be hurt. But just get insistent and hold the boundary, because the challenge will stand up in front of you and it'll look like a perpetrator. And if you want to play the victim, you're going to point your finger at that. That perpetrator is going to be the problem instead of the opportunity to access your creative genius, to deal with this challenge in a creative, unique, personal way that fits your style and is aligned with who you are as your truth. And then the savior role, there aren't any saviors. If you're looking for a savior, you're already in the victim role. You're not being an actor. You're not tapping into your own interior creative response to whatever challenging situation you're in. Now, it may be true that the challenging situation you're in is overwhelming to you and you do not yet have the skills to manage it and meet it effectively and well. And so you don't call on a savior to come and fix it for you. What you call on is a coach. Saviors become coaches. A coach. You know, when you think about a coach in a sports team, right? They don't actually play the game. They don't. They stand on the sidelines and they watch their players play the game. And their players creatively respond in the moment as best they can. And sometimes the best they've got isn't good enough and could get better. And the coach can see it. The coach can see, oh, if you fade to the left instead of to the right, you'll have a better outcome. If you pass the ball instead of hog the ball, you'll have a better outcome. And the coach will have to put them in their place and tell them how to behave, how to act better, how to play better. And so you look for a coach. When you're up against a situation that is overwhelming your skills, the challenges are just too big for your skill set to really manage, you need some coaching. It's okay. Hire a coach, get a coach, connect with a coach, talk to somebody. Let somebody give you some perspective on the situation. So saviors, no, you're not looking for a savior. You don't want somebody to come in and play the game for you. You want them to help you play the game better. Up your game. You could up your game. You could be a better actor instead of a poor little me victim, which is, of course, shaming, and that's no fun either. Parents will do that to children. Children will do that to parents. Then we say sorry and ask for a redo. Let's look at this. I'm not a victim. You're not a savior. That's not a perpetrator. That's a challenge. I'm an actor. I have creative genius. I'm up against it here. Do you have an insight that could help me? I'm going to call upon you for coaching and support, but not to play the game for me. I'm playing the game. And if you're a good coach, you're going to help me play the game better. If you're a bad coach, I'll fire you. Coaches get fired all the time. Good coaches don't, though. Anyway, I could go on and on and on about that. I do have a son who played basketball, and he was a good coach. And he runs the team. Both of my sons run teams now in their workplaces. And it's like, good on them. Yeah. So this is the drama triangle: victim, perpetrator, savior. And you don't want to be in victim, perpetrator, savior. You want to be an actor. You want to face challenges, and you want to know when you need to get a coach, right? And ultimately, another teacher of mine, I really appreciate it. She says, you don't want to be in a role at all. You don't want to be in any one of these roles. What you want to be is just in love and in enjoyment, in pleasure and excitement and connection. And so that's a circle. That's not a triangle. You're just who you are, and you're perfect just the way you are. And you make mistakes because that's part of your perfection. You're a human being. Human being. Bean. Yes. Bean. Anyway, this is my weird sense of humor, and it's kind of fun. And I'm not going to shame myself for it. I'm just going to excitedly share human beings getting out of drama triangle dynamics. Recognize when you're in one and how you can rise to a new level and play the game without all the drama. That's my drama triangle take for now. And of course, it's a practice. It's nothing you can do. It's not a one and done. It's like it's going to come up repeatedly over and over and over. And that's where good coaching comes in. And that's what I'm here to support you with. So if I can be a perspective on your world to support you in getting out of any victim stance you may be in, and out of any perpetration stance you may be in, or out of any savior position you're trying to play yourself into, that's what I'm here for. So drop me a note, drop me a private message. Let's get connected. I'm happy to serve you. I have one-on-one treatment models that I work with, that I can work with you one-on-one in coaching and body work and in Qigong exercises. I've got ways to support you in snapping out of drama triangle dynamics and moving into a happier, healthier, more effective being version of yourself. All right. So DM me, subscribe to my channel, whatever those buttons and levers are. Let's stay connected, and I'll see you next time. Ciao. Matthew Sweigart signing off. Wish you luck with your drama triangle dynamics. No victims, only actors. No perpetrators, only challenges. No saviors, only coaches. Ultimately, none of those roles, just a circle of love. Circle of love. See you next time. Ciao.